Before we proceed with this video, I understand it might be a little bit too long for some of you, but if you were to look in the description right now, you will see I have provided chapters. So if you just want to skip ahead to all the collection continuations, or maybe you only care about the likes of clothing and armour, for example, look at the description, the option is available for you. And with that, good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're right, because it's time for the Rust Workshop skin checks. We're going to jump straight in today. We've got over 100 skins to talk about, and, well, sit back and relax. We're going to jump in and start talking about deployables. Before we proceed and talk about deployables, you probably want to know where the link is for the likes of this collection right here. Look in the description. It should be the first thing you see in the description, so click that. You can listen to me as I go along with all the skins, or maybe you just want to go through it in your own time. The option's available to you. So let's get started. Let's start talking about deployables. First up, we've got a very interesting locker skin here produced by Mr. Zinc. Get a good look at this, and well, I've got to hand it to him. That's a very nice looking antique locker right there. So here's the question. Do you like it? Maybe you don't. So this is where I bring up the whole idea of comments. So if you really like the skin, please, by all means, write down some nice little words, you know. Keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But if you don't happen to like the skin, but you have a good reason for it, if you provide proper constructive feedback, be nice, concise and straight to the point, write it down, you know. And if this skin isn't accepted, maybe they'll read your feedback. Maybe they'll incorporate that into a version 2, and you never know. Maybe that second attempt at the skin is what gets accepted. So, you know, try and help them out, and we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, with what we see here, do you like it? Are you a fan of it? We don't get that many interesting looking locker skins being produced that much, do we? So, hey, you never know. So, at the very least, please consider voting yes or no. And I do believe this is an attempt at a collection. Oh, technically speaking, it's a collection continuation. I didn't even realise that. Well, I guess we're going to have to go jump in and take a look at over here on scm.app. So, antique sword. I honestly didn't know. This one's a surprise to me. So, we've got the antique sword there. All right, yes, we do. All right, straightforward answer. Would the likes of that locker skin being accepted... if that were to be accepted, would it cause the likes of this sword to go up in price? I don't think so, no. Salvage sword skins, unfortunately, haven't been performing very well for quite a considerable amount of time, as you can see right there. It ain't a pretty sight. Yeah, so all the newer ones, yeah, they're all down to around $1. Now, if you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge collection continuation, even then, I don't think a locker's going to really help out the likes of a Savage Sword skin, so by all means, at least you are aware it's a collection continuation. So, at the end of the day, if you like what you see, once again, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Zinc. Let's move on to the next batch of skins. What do we have next? Concrete barricades. Huh. I don't know if I can not be biased here. I wonder where you got this idea from, Mr. Z-Skipper. What's all this about? I'm worried to even read these I hate what I'm reading. I hate what I'm reading. Right, look, it's a hedge barricade. Do you like hedges? Well, let's move on from that. If you happen to like what you see here, if you're a fan of this, if you think, oh yeah, I could decorate with that and whatnot, that actually looks quite appealing, please consider voting yes or no. But Z-Skipper, I hate you. Best of luck to you, Z-Skipper Schneider, sorry. Let's move on to the next skin. Alright, this is actually a collection continuation. Do you remember the Kelp rug? Well, this is actually a continuation produced by Sil. We have the Kelp Barricade with transparency. Now you might be wondering, what's all this about? I have no idea. I don't understand the design. I don't get what I'm looking at. But I'll be honest with you, out of all the potential continuations he could have produced, I'm actually quite surprised. I mean, hey, he had a creative idea and he went with it, and I can applaud him for that. So yes, this is a collection continuation produced by Seal. Do you like what you see? And, well, of course, we're going to go remind ourselves of the Kelp rug. Kelp rug sold like 50,000, didn't it? I might be well off. It was a year ago. No, it was 47,000 subscribers. So we're pretty close, sort of. Yeah. Well, even then, recently, this has been rising up in price ever so nicely. So loads of people went crazy for the likes of the grass rug. Wildred made a video. Suddenly everybody wanted to, put rugs all over the wooden barricades and whatnot, and you could basically camouflage your base, sort of. Hey, it was funny enough that everybody wanted to try and do it. Well, since then, grass rug got very expensive, and with that, people have looked at the likes of the kelp rug, it seems, and that has been trending upwards ever so nicely as of recent. It was doing pretty good around post-Christmas, went down around February, but recently, up. Has it peaked? I don't think so. And with a collection continuation, could that fuel it to go even higher, potentially? I think... Will everybody be aware, though, that the concrete barricade would be a continuation? I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. I will sit here and say this. This has already risen up in price by quite a lot already. Like, with what you see here over the past, like, month, yeah, I think you've already missed out, is the point I'm trying to get across. Even, like, over the past week, look at that. It's just, it's basically gone up. How much would we say there? A good 20%? So, yeah, I think you've missed out on anything like that, but at the end of the day, you could still look at the likes of third-party sites and whatnot, but we'll see. That's very popular at the moment, but would the likes of this really fuel it up that much more? Nah, I don't fully know. I'm thinking I'd rather just leave it. I already have a whole bunch of kelp rugs. I bought them with a buy order, so I'm good. It's up to you if you really want to jump in it. I'm just sitting here saying I'm a little bit hesitant with the idea of that. So that's cool. At the end of the day, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Seal. And honestly, why not just do like a door or something? I'm just... Or a furnace, a kelpie furnace, that might be pretty funny. Give it a shot. Right, so best of luck to you, Mr. Seal. Let's move on to the next thing. What do we have? Oh yes, it's rug skins. Right, so first up, what do we have here? A blind rug with transparency. Get a good look at that. So, that's not like a trick or anything. That's quite literally over a window with the light, you know, the sun in the background. So that's really creative there, Mr. McQuarrie. But yeah, you'd have to, you know, set that up yourself if you can see from there and whatnot. Cool idea, I can respect that. But is that something you truly want, what you truly need? Well, you got to show your support with voting yes or no. Very cool idea, though. I will give it to him. So it's another case of rug skins being used as a decoration rather than a rug. Do you think we need some sort of, like, actual decorative sort of, like, I don't know, plane? If you know 3D modelling, you know what I'm talking about. That would then be used. I mean, if no one's really complaining about the rugs being used this way, I don't think people care. So, at the end of the day, cool idea. It doesn't have a mention of transparency, so I think you need to point that out, Mr. McQuarrie, just to make sure everyone's satisfied with this, with that. But yeah, cool idea. Let's see how that works out. Best of luck to you, sir. Next up, what do we have here? Well, it's a fake mirror rug. Well, how am I going to be able to find any base if it's all reflecting everything? Cool idea. I can respect that, but yeah, it's just quite literally a massive mirror. So, do you like what you see? Are you a fan of this? Do you want to be able to look at yourself? No, I don't think it's going to be able to reflect everything, right? Right? Wouldn't that potentially cause problems for in-game if we had tons of these in-game? There's been other games in the past where they've denied having reflections on cosmetics because, of course, it has to render that as well and causes problems. And do we really need more problems in Rust at the moment with optimization? We'll see. Maybe it's not even reflecting something. Maybe it's just quite literally... Oh, no, it is reflecting something. Okay, then cool. It's cool that it can do it. I'm just not sure if Facepunch could be super happy with such a thing. At the end of the day, if you like the idea, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Henon. Let's see what happens next. And yeah, you're going to say like weapon skins and whatnot. I get that. Maybe I'm overreacting. I probably am. All right, maybe I am. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Next up, what do we have here? Okay, talking about rug skins that are being used like decoration instead of being a rug. You can't walk on that. Oh yeah, the kids outside, they're going to have so much fun walking on this barbed wire rug. Really, I respect the design choice. I just think there's a bit of a problem with that being a rug. I don't want to walk in it. But at the end of the day, if you like what you see and if you're a fan of this, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Rayleigh. Let's see how that works out. I just wouldn't want to walk on it. I don't see how that's going to give me any comfort. Right, moving on. What do we have? So we got furnaces. Let's go take a look at these. Right, got quite a few of them. Let's go take a look at all of them. First up, we have Stoneface. Hold on a second. No. I thought this was a collection continuation, but instantly I remembered. Stoneface I'm thinking of, I think was already a furnace. It was a Stoneface collection of some sort, or something very similar. But this is made by Slivkin. I know they haven't had a skin accepted before, so cool idea. If you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. And yeah, you know what? I really have to go ahead and find out. Was there a Stoneface set or something before? No. No, but I don't think Slivky's ever had a skin accepted, so yeah, he would have added a collection, I'm sure. Let me just double check, just to be 100% sure. I didn't even realise that this could have been a collection continuation. How long has he been around for? No. He's not been around long enough. All right, sorry about that, Slivkey. All right, let's move on to the next skin. What do we have here? This is produced by Diaz. It's a Tesla furnace. Pretty cool idea. Probably in reference to Tesla's coil and whatnot. Tesla, the actual inventor. And I like how that lights up when it's turned on. Look at that. All the lightning, all the electricity. That's cool. That's really cool, Diaz. Right, well, if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Diaz. Let's see how that potentially works out. Next up, what do we have here? This is the Ancient Tree, produced by Bingo. Get a good look at this. Now, I believe this has 2 versions. As you can see there, it's a bit of a goofy-looking face at night time. As you can see, doesn't really light up that much. However, if we look at the second version, oh, he's got some eyes. It does look a little bit goofy. I do want to point this out. Kind of looks more like a Halloween skin. That kind of looks like mummy wraps in a weird way. Well, it's more natural. Don't you understand? So, if you like this, if you're a fan of what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. And best of luck to you, Mr. Bingo. Alright, let's see if that turns out alright. But lastly, what do we have here? It's a Anubis Dunk's nuclear reactor furnace. Get a good look at that. So we've got a very bright yellowy green interior, which probably would get quite a lot of people interested. Maybe you might want to wear like a hazmat or something just in case if you go near it, you might get a little bit sick. But yeah, we've also got a GIF over here showcasing it. So if you're a fan of that, and if you like what you see, please by all means consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to your Anubis Dunk. Let's move on to the next batch of skins. Right, so we have 1 sleeping bag, 1 small box, and then numerous large box skins. And away we go. What's up next? So we have the water sleeping bag right here. Glows in the dark. Looks pretty cool. Get a good look at it. Yes. So this is produced by Mr. Bear Trip. I think I've seen something very similar, but I think that's because this is something he produced for the charitable Rust event late last year. You might remember that. There's a water theme. That was it. It was a water charity. So that's looking pretty cool. And it glows in the dark. So, if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Bear Trip and Hulk. Right, what do we have going on over here? Here is the Sunflower small box produced by Sunart. Looking ever so pretty with all the sun. Good, nice use of colours. Lovely little sunflowers right there. Do we have a process in the design? That's looking pretty sweet right there as well. So, are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Sunart. Next up, what do we have here? It's the Firewood storage box. This is produced by Jeeba. Get a good look at that. A much more grounded approach, but hey, maybe people prefer this realistic design and whatnot. So if you're a fan of that, and if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Jeeba. Next, we have the Koi Pond box version 3, produced by Domch. Get a good look at this. Very nice, cool looking design. All the fish, the flow of the water. Very nice piece of work here, Mr. Domch. Get a good look at that. Glows in the dark, looking very pretty. So, this is your 3rd attempt. Keep it up, buddy. Maybe this could be the one. Get a good look at that. I like the design on there. And, of course, at night time, it glows. Looking very pretty. So, if you're a fan of this, if you like the whole design, the aesthetic, the pleasing, flowing-looking appearance of this koi pond, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Domch. And if I'm mispronouncing that, please tell me. I don't know if I'm doing that incorrectly. All right. So, what do we have next up? Here we have the... it's another one. Alright, apparently we have another one. Here we have the Koi Pond large box produced by Slavny. Get a good look at this. I actually thought this was like an alternative version. Well, apparently not, because of course, if we can recall, we did have the likes of that sheet on the door and the double door right there from previous weeks. So at the very least, you know, it's not surprising. If you consider how many skins we've had accepted so far in Rust in total, we must be over 4,000 now, if I'm correct. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be surprised if certain ideas do overlap. So, if you prefer this design instead, if you're a fan of that, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Slavny. And then over to here, oh, I don't know why we didn't go in there, but yep. And then over to here, we have Chris's Vampire Metal Box. This is a version 2, a 2nd attempt. You can see the glow in the dark right there, looking very cool, looking very interesting. So if you're a fan of this, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Chris. Right then, oh, and lastly, what do we have going on over here? It's a collection continuation. This right here is the Moonguard large box. This is produced by Papagal and Universe Kid, and if you might notice, this this is actually a continuation of the sheet-metal door that was accepted just about 2 weeks ago. Now, they have been working on this collection for quite some time. We've already seen the likes of a furnace, a garage door, and now we have the large books. But the sheet-metal door was accepted, so let's just quickly remind ourselves of that. It sold quite reasonably, but the problem is it was a sheet-metal door. Unfortunately, we have a ton of sheet metal doors. If you take a look at all the sheet metal doors that have come out so far this year, you shouldn't be surprised to see that it looks like that. There are far too many to compare to. It's a whole nother talking point, but let's just get the point across. If we were to potentially see a collection continuation, if we were to see that large box being accepted, what could happen to the likes of this Moonguard sheet metal door? Well, I can only expect some positive things. We could see the brand new Deployable collection getting started. However, I've seen many continuations appear for, a single Deployable skin, and unfortunately there's many instances where we don't get many more. And what I'm trying to get across is so many collections probably end at around 2 or 3. So be aware of that, and also with all the recent submissions of collection continuations for all the Deployable collections, there's so many that have been submitted somewhat recently that it's very competitive. Let me put it that way. But in general, it's very competitive with all the skin creators. So by all means, I don't really think that's going to be going up in price that much. But if we keep seeing more of these Moonguard skins being accepted, or more specifically, if we see more of those previous ones being resubmitted, and then we see them being accepted afterwards, then by all means, we'll definitely start to see more investment put towards the set. Now, I question you, do you like what you see? Are you a fan of the owl's eyes staring at you? Lovely bit of glow-in-the-dark on the sides, the eyeballs staring at your very soul, even better. So, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Peppercorn Universe Kid. And in terms of the investment, I'd probably wait it out a little bit longer. So we'll leave it at that. Right then, let's talk about, one wooden door and then multiple sheet metal doors. Yes, that's a normal thing normally, isn't it? So, as we go over to here, we have the Alpha Wolf wooden door produced by Kazaru. Get a good look at that. He also stares into your soul. Why do we have so many animals judging us? I don't know why. What did I do? I'm just a man. So, if you like this, if you're a fan of this, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Kazaru. Let's see how this potentially works out. Next up, what do we have going on here? Shadowborn's Thing Metal Door. Yep, we're on to sheet metal doors immediately. That right there, I'm not sure if I want to pull the handle. Is that even a handle? It's like an eyeball. I think it's an eyeball. I hope it's an eyeball. Right, anyway, so if you like what you see, it's a glow-in-the-dark door, as you can see. Looks pretty scary. I'm not sure if I want to go near that, but yeah, if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Shadowborn, and you could get a much better up-close look at the style of that. And the glow-in-the-dark version. Very nice, sir. Next up, what do we have here? It's another monster. It's the Monsters sheet metal door, produced by 1RJ and 34633. Pretty goofy design, bit waxy and whatnot. Well, it's monsters. I'm not sure if they wash themselves properly. They need to have a little bit of moisturizer and whatnot. Anyway, get a good look at that. So, if you're a fan of this, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. It doesn't seem to glow or anything, so yeah, nothing really to show there. So, best of luck to you two, and yeah, consider voting yes or no. Next up, what do we have? It's the Safe metal door. It glows, and I do believe we have 2 versions of this. Yes, right, so this is produced by Scropin. Get a good look at that. Yep, nice, straightforward. Nothing too crazy in terms of the design, but you know what? A lot of people do appreciate something like this. Keep it grounded. So what we have here is 2 different versions. We've obviously seen the first version. Here's the second version, and the second version has some sort of motor at the bottom. That's what it appears to be. So, yeah, and of course you might notice it does glow in the dark. So, yes, if you're a fan of this, nothing too crazy in terms of its design, but a lot more realistic. If that's what you like, show your support. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Scropin. And what do we have going on here? Andre and Apple Pie producing a very cool mosaic-style looking sheet metal door. Well, I do appreciate that. Now, does it glow in the dark? Doesn't seem to. Judging by what we see there, it doesn't appear to. No, I'm going to sit here and say I don't think it does. So, do you like that? Are you a fan of what you see here? Would you like to have that in your base? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Andre and Apple Pie, and keep up the good work. I'd love to see that and many other deployables. You have an interesting potential thing to go on there. Have a different animal for every different deployable. Consider doing that, because that does look very nice. Right, what do we have going on here? Mossy Skull sheet metal door. Ooh, glows in the dark. I believe I've seen a previous, there was like a previous one from here, Humpty. He had a garage door originally, wasn't accepted. Now he's making a sheet metal door. Let's see if this works out potentially. Get a good look at that. Quite scary when you look at it that way. What's the deer skull for? No, would it be Would it be a deer or would it be a ram? I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, if you like it, please show your support. Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Humpty. Let's see how that potentially works out. And what do we have right here? It's a collection continuation. I was expecting this. So you know how recently Upor and Hypermonster, that's it. They produced a whole bunch of Soullight continuations, but they only had one side of the original. What am I talking about? So basically, we had the Armour door being accepted, but it had two different sides, my good side and my bad side. Basically, you had like the angelic side and the hellish side. Now, all the recent deployables they submitted, well, you can't have two different sides on a sheepman door. So they only did the angelic side. Unfortunately, that wasn't accepted. And of course, they followed that up with a small box. That wasn't accepted for now. So now, what do we have going on here? We have the dark side, the hellish side, yes. We have pretty much the exact same thing for what we saw with the previous Soullight light version. It has a version where it's just a standard sheep in the door, glow in the dark, and then we have one with transparency as well, because you can actually see through that peephole right there. So, are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. But we do have to hop back over to here. What week was it? It was part 2. Yes, Easter part 2. Soullight Armoured Door, $1.89, down 53%. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem based on, well, how often are you even reaching to a point where you have, armoured doors and whatnot? And, well, yeah, if you're not going to be making it that much, where's the justification to own such a skin? So, of course, price go bad. I've bought a whole bunch of these around this price, if anything. But, yeah, unfortunately, didn't do a good enough job retaining its value. Now, what can help it out? Collection continuation. Yes, indeed. So, if we do start to potentially see more of the Soullight collection actually being accepted, as I said, it's not like this is the first attempt, rather the first dark attempt, then yeah, I could imagine the Soullight Armoured Door could probably pop up and do quite alright. Are we going to see like weird mixing and matching? Like, imagine if this was accepted and the small box was accepted. Is it like going to be every other thing's going to be... I don't know, but hey, it's something goofy to look forward to. Now, would I jump in and invest into the Armoured Door right now? I personally wouldn't. It's not something you definitely want to rely upon. Unfortunately, I'm already in the position where I bought some, so... But, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, if you think you could pick some of the Armoured Doors with a cheaper build and whatnot, by all means, give it a shot and whatnot. But, yeah, it's already gone down in price pretty significantly, so maybe it can't get much worse. But I will sit here and say, if we were to see any of these Soullight deployable skins being accepted, then yes, I can't help but assume you definitely will start to see a bit of a spike in demand and a spike in price. So, yeah. Which version did you prefer? The good side or the bad dark side? Right, let's move on to the next thing. Let's go take a look at these garage doors. Oh, actually, we're almost done. Okay, that's just all the deployables there then. Okay, right, so first of all, here is the Boar garage door. Boar garage door. Boar door. Right, so Mr. WAGN, Mr. Gunya, Mr. Wagan and Gunya, they produced this Boar door. Sorry, I like saying it. But yeah, does it look cool? Are you a fan? Do you like boars? Do you want to pet them on the head? Well, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Wagan and Gunya. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Next up, what do we have here? It's an LED array garage door produced by Voodoo. Trying out something different. You know what? It's a bit weird. We don't have that many garage door submissions this week. Like all the previous weeks over the past 2 months, we've been seeing tons of them. This week, only 2? That is a bit odd, isn't it? It is a bit strange. Well, anyway, get a good look at that. Get a good look at that. So, doesn't appear to glow in the dark from what I can see. Oh, no. I was mistaken. It just happened to be very faint, which is still cool. So if you like that design, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too, Mr. Voodoo, and let's see if you can get your first ever skin accepted. Next up, what do we have going on here? A wooden double door with summer colours. I mean, if you were to call it summer colours, you could have just called it colourful. Yeah, Kolotinsky, trying to see if you can get a wooden double door being accepted. It's quite a rare sight to see, but hey, maybe that could be the one. Maybe that might work out quite all right. But I think we already have a rainbow double wooden door. And that might be the reason why he called it in such a way. I was a bit confused by that, but yep, if we go over to here, yeah, I don't think that's going to work out very well. We've already got rainbow doors, and, well, it would be a bit awkward to have two very similar things. It's not like, that's out of the ordinary, though. We have had very similar things in terms of weapons and whatnot, but deployables, Hey, you probably know some things to bring up. Feel free to comment, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, If you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Kolotinsky, and we'll see how that turns out. And now, gentlemen, sit back and relax, for Hedge is going to yap quite a lot. For what we have right here in front of us is the Shadowborn Armour Double Door. Now, we actually egged on Mr. Vase quite a lot to, you should go attempt it, you should do it. What's all the fuss about, Hedge? What are you talking about? So basically, let me just kind of get this across to all of you. We don't really see many Armour Double Door skins being accepted. You probably only see one marketable one being accepted every year, and I'm not joking. So if we could just quickly check. This might be a bit of a problem. I tried this many times, and I keep getting it wrong. Armour Double Door, is it Double Armour Door? I think it's... Oh, it's right there. I got it correct the first time. There you go. Last year, we did get the Disguised Toast Twitch drop along with the Bombshell Double Armour Door. But the main point I said was we only had one marketable double door. So you had that, and then you had that. And then we had like 2 years where we didn't have one. And then before that we had two. And then we had two with a Twitch drop as well. To get the point across, we don't have many Double Armour Door skins. So if I go over to here, highest price, you could do it that order if you so wish. Get a good look at that. We only have 6 marketable ones. I will sit here and tell you this. If we see that Shadowborn Armour Double Door being accepted, can't help but assume it's going to be a perfectly reliable investment to jump onto. Now, you also might question, oh, but wouldn't it sell quite a lot? Probably, but we had the Bombshell Armour Double Door being accepted last year, and that did less than 20,000 bare minimum sales. Get a good look at all of them. Look at all. Yeah, so we even had the Outer Planets Armour Double Door being accepted a good couple of years back, comfortably at around $10 now. If we hardly ever see any Double Armour Door skins being accepted, they just comfortably rise up in price. Then we also have to reinforce the point of, hey, we have a Shadowborn collection right here. If we see that Double Armour Door being accepted, you know for sure that's going to go up even more. So we've got 5 skins accepted so far, and with each new deployable skin being accepted, all the previous ones kept spiking up, and then going up in the positive. There was an initial period of time where we saw the likes of both of these in the negative, but then this appeared, and they boosted up, and then this appeared, and then they boosted up even more. Yep, Sheep on the Door's kind of slightly sitting around just over its rustore price, but if we see another deployable, whether it's that locker, we still haven't seen a locker, or the Double Armour Door that I just showed you, yes, it's going to be spiking. I am expecting Shadowborn will most likely have a very nice summer ahead of it. I did have a video I uploaded today discussing the summer, how everything's lining up for the summer to be very nice, not only in terms of player count, but in terms of our investments and whatnot. Oh, it's going to be very pretty. So, with what we see here, I'm feeling pretty confident we're going to have a pretty fun time with the Shadowborn collection. So, first of all, get a good look at that. Another lovely piece of artwork here, produced by Vase and Cubist. Lovely works of arts, yes. And of course, it glows in the dark, it looks ever so nice. And are you a fan of what you see here? If we were to have only one Double Armour Door skin being accepted in all of 2024, would you approve of that? I would definitely do. Yeah. Now, Face Punch, randomly picking out the Sheepman a Double Door after it was in the workshop for like 5 weeks. Having discussed this with Vase as well, it's like, well, they clearly like the design, they clearly like the collection. I think that's the one. That's why we kept peer pressuring him to make this. So here it is. Let's see if this works out very nicely. Are you a fan? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. And, well, best of luck. Let's see how it turns out. Will we see Shadowborn collection growing even stronger? Will we have 6 skins? Maybe more. Maybe make a concrete barricade. Hey, why not? Other people did it this week. Oh, we are definitely going to egg him on to do that next. Oh, yeah, for sure. Maybe a fridge. Ooh, Shadowborn fridge. What would you put inside it? Feel free to comment. Anyway, with that, best of luck to you two. Let's move on. And, well, that's it. That was all the deployables for this week. So, out of all those deployables, which one was your most favourite? Which one do you reckon has the best potential chance of potentially being accepted in a future Rustore? Please consider commenting below. I'm going to take a real quick break now, and then we'll move on to discussing all those weapons and tools. Cool. So, yeah, no, I'm quite surprised. Not that many garage doors this week, but hey, I'm not complaining too much. That felt like it went quicker. I don't think it did, but hey, so as long as you're entertained and enjoy what I'm talking about, that's fine. So, quick drink. Right, gentlemen, let's jump in and start discussing all those weapons and tools. First off, what do we have right here? We got ourselves some rock skins. Here we have Rosato's oxidized titanium rock. Get a good look at that. Kind of got like a petrol slicks type of design. Do you know what I'm trying to talk about here? Have you ever seen petrol oil in water? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm sure you get what I mean. So, pretty interesting approach, pretty interesting design. Does it glow in the dark? Doesn't seem to be mentioning such a thing. So, hey, that's looking pretty cool. Are you a fan of that? Well, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Risato. And what might this be? This is the volcano rock, the volcanic rock to be precise. My apologies, K. Vladimir and hello. It glows in the dark, as you can see right there. And I'm not sure if you want to keep holding on to it forever because it might burn your hands. You might need some gloves. So, yep, get a good look at that. Glows in the dark. I'm not sure if people want glow in the dark tools and weapons, but hey, we shall see. But I would have sat here and said, K. Vladimir and hello, you're more than welcome to produce an alternate version which didn't glow in the dark. Just pointing that out. But at the end of the day, if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. Right then, so what do we have next? We've got a hammer, we've got a combat knife, we've got a crossbow, another crossbow, and then we got a Nyoka. So, here we go. What's this? The Judge's Gavel. Do you want to go around and do some judging? Well, here you go. We can start judging right now. Here we have the Judge's Gavel, produced by Mishka. Now, Mishka, I know you can pull this off. Do you reckon you could make like judges' robes and the weird like hairpiece thing? If you could pull that off, oh mate, that would be really funny. If you think you can do such a thing. So this is a pretty cool idea for a hammer. Hey, maybe that might be the thing that you want to see in Rust. So, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Mishka. That's actually a very cool idea for a hammer skin. So, if you add more to it, extra thumbs up. Just saying. That's just me talking, all right? All right, so best of luck, sir. Right, what do we have going on here? We got the Talon's Edge combat knife. Now, we haven't had a combat knife skin being accepted in about 3 years. There's no, like, reason for it, but hey, maybe this might be the one. With an interesting usage of transparency to make it look a little bit more edged out and sinister looking. Hey, maybe that might be the perfect combat knife skin for you. So if you're a fan of that, and if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Debsky. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, starting off the likes of the crossbows, get a good look at Mr. Verona's Death Lily crossbow version 2. Get a good look at all the Death Lilies, the patterns. You can even see the pattern right over here as well. Get a good look at that. Looking very nice, looking very pretty. Mr. Verona, trying to see if he can get a brand new weapon collection built up. So if you're a fan of this design, if you like what you see, by all means, people, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Verona. Let's see how this potentially could work out in the future. However, you do have competition. What might that be? Imperial Crossbow. Yes, Mr. Eros is back with another Imperial skin. If you can recall, we've had the likes of the Thompson, we've had the pump shotgun, but what of this potential crossbow? So let's quickly go over to here. Let's go type in Imperial. And let's bring up all those recent Imperial skins, because whilst there was another recent attempt, we did have the Python, that wasn't accepted, you can clearly see that it's not really holding up very well. Now, by default, weapon-only skins, weapon-only collection, I should clarify, doesn't really work out very well. It's unfortunate, but this is like something that always tends to happen, and unfortunately, this is already an example. Now, by default, these skins might actually rise up in price and lead up to the summer. I have talked about this already, so let's quickly hop over here to my YouTube. Rust skins in the summer and Twitch drops video. Please consider giving this a good watch. I am talking a lot about how certain skins during the likes of June and July are likely going to peak, so by default they might still rise up in price regardless. But a crossbow being accepted right here, right now, it will still be a weapon-only collection. Unfortunately, the crossbow were to be accepted, I wouldn't be surprised if that still goes below its rust price as well. It's awkward, but yeah, the more the merrier. You know, that would be nice to see, but we'll have to see. So by default, I personally wouldn't be jumping and investing into that, just based on, well, you know, weapon-only collections. It's a bit awkward. So regardless, if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Eros. Let's see how that potentially works out. And to my surprise, we actually have an Nyoka skin. Yeah, every now and then we do tend to see them, but we haven't had one accepted in over a year. So this is Kika, a newer skin creator, or rather, well, newer on my radar at the very least. So yeah, Reaper Pepper. What do you reckon? Might be a little bit too hot to the touch. I hate myself, sorry. So if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Kicker. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work for all the nice creative designs. So, next up, what do we have going on over here? We got sap skins. We've got a sap skin with 3 different variants there. And we got some MP5s. A lot of MP5s this week, and we've got some Thompsons, a double barrel shotgun, and then LR300s. Okay, let's get the ball rolling, let's start talking. We have the Stealth Sap Koi camo. What's up with everybody wanting koi fish this week? I don't know, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. Anyway, fuff. Hang on a minute, are they all your skins? Fuff, I think you might be... what's the best way of saying this? I think you might be a little bit too carried away. I think 3 variants might be a little bit too much. Having 2 extra, that's fine, but I think you're really pushing it, so I wouldn't do this every single week is what I'm saying. We've got the pinkish Sakura camo, you know, get a good look at that. Yep. And we've got the likes of this Storm camo. It's just basically white, it seems. Yep. And then we have what appears to be the original, the Nightfall camo. I'm not sure what one the original is, but I will sit here and say, Fuff, I wouldn't do this many variants. At best, honestly, you're only really supposed to have 1. But this many, you might be pushing it a little bit. So at the end of the day, guys, there's 4 different options to pick from there. Which one's your favourite? By all means, please consider voting yes or no on any one of them. And I will just sit here and say every single one of them has the exact same aim sight. Quick look at here, yep, red aim sight. Should be useful. So yeah, Fuff, I can't really dedicate so much time looking at every single one of them and whatnot. You're kind of a little bit greedy there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Right. What do we have going on here with the MP5s? First up, we have the Rusty Metal MP5. Get a good look at this. Produced by Sendox. Get a good look at that. Yes. Ain't that looking pretty? Ain't that looking nice? Aim down the sight. What do we see? Perfectly fine red aim sight. Should be totally fine. So if you're a fan of the Rusty Metal MP5, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Sendox. Let's see how that potentially works out in the future. But next up, we do have competition. Immediately, we have the likes of the Glacier MP5. Now, I'm going to sit here and say this camo kind of looks a little bit like Cold Hunter. Well, at the end of the day, we haven't had a very ice-themed skin somewhat recently, so maybe we'll be perfectly fine for the likes of this. But get a good look at that. Do you like? Do you appreciate? Are you a fan? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Aim down the sight. What do we have? White aims. No, it's got a little bit of light blue right about there. So if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. You might want to wear gloves. It's a little bit too cold. Maybe you could hold it with the hot pepper Ioka. Maybe you could mix them out. Shut up, Hedge. Right, move on. Next up, what do we have here? The Armoured MP5, produced by Justin and Xenia Paris. Get a good look at that. Very nice, cool looking design right there. Nice and armoured, I should say. Shut up, Hedge. Right, so get a good look at that. Aim down the sight. Where are we? Aim down the sight. Aim down the sight. Where's my aim down the sight, Justin and Xenia Paris? Where is this? Where is it? Where's my aim down the sight? Come on now. That's not an aim down the sight. Aim! Stop spraying praying. Why can't they ever do the aim down the sight image? You should know better. You've been around forever. Alright, well, at the end of the day, if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. But guys, honestly, it's a rule. You're supposed to have an aim down the sight image. Don't get in trouble for something as simple as that. Right, next up, what do we have here? We have the I'm Fine MP5 with a nice, perfectly useful looking aim down the sight image. Perfection. Light blue cyan. That's cool. That should be good for every single environment. Get a good look at that. Are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? This is the I'm Fine MP5, which I do believe is trying to, it's kind of turning into a collection. Let's just quickly hop over to here. Yeah. I remember the SAR, the AK was the previous week, now onto the MP5. So yeah, if you're a fan of this, if you think, oh yeah, maybe this could potentially build up into a collection of some sort, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Wahoo. Let's move on to the next skin. Right, Tiger Stripes MP5 with a useful looking GIF immediately. Shino and Frog, let's see what you got up here. So, cool looking yellow design, aim down the sight, perfection. That's what I like to see. Red aim sight, even better. Good for every single environment. Do you like the colour scheme? Do you like tiger theme? Well, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. But I will point out and sit here and say there is an alternative version with a bit more red colour, and that's got a green aim sight right there. That sounds interesting. Do you like this? Do you prefer this a little bit better? Yep. Well, it's up to you. You have the power to vote, so please consider voting yes or no for either version of these. Best of luck to you, Mr. Shino and Frog. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, what do we have going on here? It's the Silence Thompson, produced by Hessiam. Get a good look at that. Now, do we have a name down the sight image? No, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream very loudly, but not now, no. I'll save it for another day. So you got a pretty cool looking Silence Thompson right there. If you're a fan of that, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to Hessiam. Please add aim down the sight images. Why was it so hard to say it then? I don't know. I'm going crazy. I really am, because I'm looking at a gigantic glizzy right here. Oh no. No, NFN, not like this. No, not the double glizzy. No. Okay, here we are. We've got the hot dog double barrel. It is looking ever so appetizing. It's got mustard. It's got mustard. How could you say no? Are you a rusty dog? Okay, that got me. Right, so nothing to look for in terms of aim down the sight. Every single double barrel has the exact same aim sight. You can't change the colour of it. But hey, you're feeling hungry? By all means, if you like this design, if you're a fan of that, are you a rusty dog? Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. NFN. Let's see how that potentially works out. If you turn this into a whole like food-themed set, I'm all for it, you know. All right, you could probably do like grenade, mustard. I don't know if you'd be able to do that. The shape might be a little bit too awkward, but give it a shot. See if you could do that. You know, it'd be spicy or spice bomb, whatever. But yeah, shut up, Hedge. You've been silly now. Let's just move on to the next thing. What do we have here? It's the Copper LR300 version 2. This is a collection continuation, or more specifically, the first collection continuation that we'll be showcasing. First up, let's quickly take a look at the aim down the sight image. Standard black, perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Got your cool looking police design, looking very cool. So now let's quickly remind ourselves of the Copper collection. When it loads, here we go. Right, what do we currently have right here? We have quite a lot of skins. We have all the clothing and armor, or more specifically the the core pieces. We have tier 2, tier 3, and of course the hoodie and pants. And we've got a few weapons being accepted, but unfortunately this collection as a whole isn't exactly doing the best. It's nice to see that some of it's still holding up quite nicely, but all the other stuff, well, that's probably down to the fact that this might have sold far too much compared to the rest of the other things, and yeah, maybe people just don't like the colour that much. At the end of the day, if we were to see this LR300 potentially being accepted, would it cause all of this to potentially spike in price? Not really, I wouldn't expect that. But it would be nice to see more of this collection. It's been around for a fairly long time. I personally would love to see the jacket actually being accepted, but there's been like 3 attempts at that, which is unfortunate. I love the double door. Duck, by all means, give it another shot. Try again. This was a cool idea. Give it another shot for the summer. Because if that gets accepted, that's going to be selling a lot. I know a lot of people would appreciate that. But for the LR300, I know LR300s right now are doing a lot better compared to what they were before, but I don't think it's going to really cause all of this to spike in demand, spike in price. So personally, I'll take a step back. I don't think you're going to see a massive, insane increase in demand for all those other skins. But by all means, do you like this? Would you like to see more of the Copper collection? Would you like to see some more interesting looking LR300 skins? Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Duck. Let's see how that turns out. And I stand by my point. Redo or resubmit the double door. I think it looks cool. But what do we have going on over here? Well, this is another LR300 continuation, a little ranger with his cardboard LR300. Get a good look at that, the aim down the sight, useful with aim sight, perfectly fine. Yes, get a good look at that. There's another thing I want to point out. I like how you can see the inside part of the cardboard there. Bonus points, that's cool. So yes, not too long ago we did see the likes of the tools being accepted for Little Ranger, so he must have felt enthusiastic to jump in and make a continuation immediately. So let's go to quickly take a look at those skins. Where were they? They're down over here, aren't they? Down, here they are. Right, currently right now they're in the positive, but I think that's mainly due to the fact that they just didn't really sell that much. They only did like 6,000 sales, and well, there's hardly any of these on the Steam market, hardly any listings. When you actually look at it based on, well, listings compared to buy orders, that doesn't look like it will retain its value. However, with the sheer lack of listings, it's doing alright. So, is it actually worth $2? But if we were to potentially see a continuation, would that work out quite alright? Maybe, but it's not like these are the early cardboard skins. Let's quickly remind you, we also have the likes of the Crossbow and the Custom SMG. They're not doing very well. Even after these are accepted, they're not doing very well. So if we were to see that being accepted, what do you think might happen? No, I don't think the LR300 is going to cause all of this to spike in demand, spike in price. Now, maybe these two, something funny's going on here. They didn't really sell that much. They are the lowest selling skins out of all of this. And it's currently in the positive, but it's not actually being bought for those prices, I believe. Let's just quickly confirm that. So if I go over to here, look at its recent sales. Nope, some of them did sell above $2. Not all of these, though, but this did. So that's only 2 sales. Yeah, alright, well, that one's seemingly a bit iffy. So personally, I won't go near it. But by all means, do you like this design? Are you a fan of this fragile export LR300 cardboard? Oh yes, it's ever so exquisite. No, honestly, very cool idea. I love all the symbols here from what you'd see in like packaging and whatnot. Extra bonus points there. Best of luck to you then, Mr. Little Ranger. If you like this design, if you're a fan of it, please, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, so as we scroll down now, we'll see all of these AK-47s. There's a lot of these AK-47s. There's always a lot of AK-47s. We never stop having AKs, do we? Please help me. But then after that, I do believe we're done with the L96s. Right, so what do we have going on here? Drag and normal van. I'm not making a garage door. I like this already. So what do we have going on here? A very cool looking gradient style. That looks nice. Look at that. Right, so please have a name down the site image. Please have a name down the site image. Please have that name down there. Right, that's probably the best we can do. Red aim sight based on what we can see there. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So yeah, do you like that? Do you like how the sun glistens on the shiny reds? Do you like how the design stands out ever so nice in the lighting? Well, if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see here, the Last Blow AK-47, please, by all means, consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Drag, and best of luck to you, Normavan. Let's see if this could work out well. Next up, what do we have going on here? It's the Battle-Scarred AK-47, produced by Soullight. Get a good look at this. Pretty cool, straightforward looking design, nothing wrong with that. There's many people out there that do appreciate a much more straightforward approach. Normal aim sight, nothing wrong with that. Can't go wrong. Green AK, what do you reckon? Would go well with the likes of all your Forest Raiders? Potentially, maybe, possibly. So if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to Soullight. Alright. But I don't think that's how you're supposed to... I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should cook your AKs. I don't think they taste good. Caglianiello, what were you thinking? Honestly, you don't even have sauce. Oh. Anyway, get a good look at that. These gentlemen decided to cook their AKs. Maybe they cook something good. Maybe they're cooking something special. Well, the only way you're going to find out is if you actually see it being accepted. So if you want to find out, if you're interested, if you're invested, maybe you want to jump in and consider voting yes or no. So best of luck to you too. Where's the sauce? Honestly, unbelievable. Right, so best of luck. Consider voting yes or no. Let's move on to the next one. What do we have going on here? Sand Scorpion AR, produced by GBG and Zihan. Get a good look at that. That's looking pretty cool. I didn't really take too much of a look at this. I like the Scorpion, all the hieroglyphics and whatnot. Yeah, no, it's looking pretty cool. So, aim down the sight. Aim down the sight. Aim down the sight. Aim down the sight. Right, we don't have one of them, so... This is the best we can do. Looks like it's a standard yellowish brown aim sight there. Basically, it resembles exactly what we have here. So, if you're a fan of that, if you like the design, if you're a fan of it, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. Give me aim down the sight images, please. Right, moving on. What do we have going on here? It's the fake AR, produced by Mnemonic Man. Right, please have... Oh, you beautiful man. Thank you very much. Right, so standard looking aim sight, nothing wrong with that. Keep looking on the sides. Tilt your head. Okay, that's pretty cool. Looking pretty cool. Is it chromatic? Oh, what's it called? I'm reminded of something. Chromatic aberration. Is that what I'm looking at here? It's kind of like tricking my eyes a bit. I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, that's looking pretty cool. So, are you a fan of that? Do you like what you see? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you then, Mr. Mnemonic Man. Right, Insurgent AK-47, produced by Mr. Zverand. Get a good look at this. Right, so, pretty okay looking style. Is that a red aim sight I see? Please tell me you have a name down the sight. Oh, yes you do. Perfect. Right, pretty sleek, pretty cool. Are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? Then by all means, gentlemen, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Zverand. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Next up, oh wow, this is very colourful, isn't it? So yep, it's the Sweet Dreams AK-47. So just this past week, we had something resembling some sort of LSD trip. This week, toxic positivity, I guess. Far too much colourful things going on. My eyes. So, do you like this? Are you a fan? Well, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Where's the aim down the sight image? Good. I was about to lose it. I was going to have a meltdown. But there you go, red aim sight. And I will just point this out. There's a stockless version as well. So, you got two versions to take a look at. You get the idea. It's pretty much the exact same thing, you know. So, if you like what you see here, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Lies and Mr. Cobra. Let's see how that potentially turns out. And then next up, what do we have? Well, we moved on to bolt action rifles. Here is JJ's Rebel Bolt Rifle. Get a good look at that. Nothing too crazy in terms of its design, a lot more grounded, but people do appreciate such things. So, if you like the carved looking wood, it's nice and clean, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. JJ. Let's see if this Rebel Bolt Rifle gets accepted. But next up, what do we have going on over here with the L96s? We have a collection continuation to discuss. This is GXT Face's Bullseye L96. GXT Face, you're supposed to do a different colour. Your first two Bullseye skins were reddish pink. Your second two were pea green like this. You should have done like a blue or an orange or a purple. Or a, well, I don't know, brown. You get the idea. Yeah, I would have thought you would have like mixed and matched it a little bit more. So, cool. You got a Bullseye L96 right there. Now we need to discuss the Bullseye collection. But unfortunately, I'm immediately going to sit here and say no. Why, Hedge? Why were you so quick to say that? Because it's a weapon-only collection. What have we said like 5 times already this video? When it's a weapon-only collection, by default, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in it, unfortunately. Because by default, it always ends up usually like this. Now, the Bullseye SAR is actually starting to improve. So, alright, fair play to you at the very least. But across the board, yeah, not exactly super pretty to look at. So personally, I won't be jumping in and investing into it. But more specifically, just for this L96 skin, are you a fan? Do you like what you see? Would you like to see that being accepted into the game? Please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. GXT Face, and let's see what else you potentially produce in the future. But it does have competition. Very shiny holographic competition. What is that I'm looking at right there? It's a version 2, a resubmission of Mr. Milho Frito's Chameleon L96. Get a good look at that. I can quickly take a quick drink of this water whilst you gaze upon the holographic coloration. Very nice, very cool. So, this is a Chameleon Collection continuation, looking very nice and shiny right there, and we now need to jump in and start discussing the Chameleon Collection. So it wasn't too long ago we got the hoodie and pants being accepted. On the horizon, we do expect the Tier 2 to potentially be submitted at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Oh wait, we had the Chameleon Roadside Gloves this week as well. Anyway, looking pretty good right now, isn't it? Better, yep. So the clothing and armour, currently doing quite alright. Tier 2 on the horizon, fully expected. Python, only down by 5%. Revolver, up 50. SAP, up 14. Custom SMG, you're a custom SMG. Right, bolt action rifle, cool, you're almost $6 there. LR300, now in the positive. Chameleon SAR, only down by 2%. MP5, doing 69% up. Pretty cool. 69%, 420. It's written in the stars. That L96 is getting accepted. AK, improving, sort of. Thompson, only down by 8%. So across the board, this is doing so much better than where it was like 2 months ago, and I do expect even more skins to potentially being accepted. So with the likes of what we see here, if we were to see this being accepted, would all of those skins potentially spike in demand, spike in price? I feel like more as a whole, with more skins being accepted for the Chameleon Collection as a whole, the momentum still going, and of course people still rubbing their hands of the thought of potentially seeing Tier 2 on the horizon, I think it would bring a nice bit of positivity for it. I should really point out that all skins are rising up in price ever so nicely at the moment. We did bring this up a little bit earlier with the likes of this video that I have right here. There's a lot of very interesting positivity. We potentially have a Twitch Drops event kicking off in about 2 weeks' time, just before the June 4th swipe, which is also expected to bring a lot of very interesting content. So overall, summer's going to kick off very nicely for us, and we do expect potentially a lot of people playing the game. A lot more people playing the game leads to, of course, more demand for skins, and well, you very likely could see these go up even higher in price, especially with potentially the Tier 2 on the horizon. Ooh. So, that's looking pretty optimistic. That's sounding pretty cool. So if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, please, by all means, consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Milho Frito and Sakati Similias. Let's see how that turns out. I'm optimistic. We shall see what happens next. And with that, well, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. So, in terms of the Chameleon Collection, I'm sitting here saying that all these core pieces here, by default, if we are expecting Tier 2 on the horizon and whatnot, yeah, I would invest into it. But the L96, again, as I've said, I feel like it will keep the momentum strong. Lots of anticipation currently at the moment. All the better to consider making a move now before it's too late. But I will sit here and say quite a lot of the skins have already boosted up in price. And personally speaking, I wouldn't go near the custom SMG because It's a custom SMG. So don't look at that thinking, oh yeah, that's clearly the best thing to go for. It's the cheapest one. That's probably for a reason. So you might be a little bit too late is the overall answer, I'll say. So if you already own some skins, keep your eyes open. There's potentially even more to come. All right. So with that, that is the final weapon/tool skin to discuss this week. Out of all of those weapons and tools, which one was your most favourite? Which one do you reckon has the best potential chance of potentially being accepted? Please consider commenting below. I'm going to take a real quick break. Right, let's start off with the clothing and armour with this very strange looking boonie hat. Yep. Yep. Oh, what a lovely image that is. Perfect, right. Just... Why? Alright, so we have the poop boonie hat. Oh, come on now. You didn't have... Oh, who does that? Who leaves that in the bus stop? Come on now, honestly. So, yeah, this is a boonie hat, and it is poop. So, if you want to have poop on your head, please consider voting yes or no. You are far too clever with all those extra images with the animals, you two, Mr. Shaft and Opacha, but I don't know if everybody's going to want that, but I can't help but assume a lot of people definitely would. So, if you want poop on your head, poop boonie hat, please consider voting yes or no. I don't want to wish them best of luck, but they probably are definitely going to get a lot of it. So, we'll move on to the next skins. What do we have going on here? Another boonie hat without poop. It's a tourist boonie hat. That's in my eyes, a lot better. It will smell a lot better. Yep. So, get a good look at that. Looking pretty cool. Nice straw hat. Do you like what you see? Are you a fan of this? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Kaiden. Thank you for not making poop. Alright, what do we have next? Oh, collection continuation immediately. So what do we have going on here? Chainmail. Oh, wow, this is going to look really funny. This whole set, you're just going to make yourself look like a very strange looking robot of some sort, but I'm all for it. Look at that. So last week we did see the likes of Chainmail Burlap clothing being submitted. This week we now have leather gloves and Burlap shoes. Oh wow, look at those shiny feet. My shiny feet and me. Right, so we got to talk about the likes of the Chainmail collection. So recently we had the Burlap head wrap being accepted. Let's see how that's currently holding up. And the answer is, well, there we go, down 23 and down 35. Unfortunate. But if we were to see the likes of any of these skins being accepted, oh yeah, of course, you're definitely going to see a spike in demand, spike in price. When that was accepted, that shot all the way up to like $2.50 almost. And then it immediately went back down. But if we had more skins being accepted with a proper collection being built up, yes, that would look very, very good in terms of a nice investment. So if you're feeling confident, if you think, oh yeah, no, Facepunch would definitely want to have a full, proper, interesting looking primitive collection being accepted, by all means, jump in, invest now, because the prices are down. If you feel confident that we're going to look like that at some point in the future, please consider, investing. Oh, but I was meant to say, you might want to consider investing. I was also going to sit there and say, if you like it, please consider voting yes or no. I got my words completely mixed up, but you get the idea. That's looking very appealing. Primitive collections do cause the likes of, well, with new skins being accepted, the pre-existing skins will spike in demand, spike in price. So I've got my words out. If that sounds appealing to you, please consider, jumping in if you want to. So yeah, that's again, I still think I said the words a little bit wrong there. Sorry about that, Mr. Legacy. But at the end of the day, hey, we don't really have that many Burlap shoe skins currently in the game, and we really don't have that many leather skins being accepted anymore. Ever since the road sign gloves became skinnable, we have never seen another a leather glove skin being accepted. So we'll see if that potentially could be the combo breaker. Right then, so by all means, consider voting yes or no. Let's see how that turns out. Alright then, so next up, what do we have here? Desert Protection, head wrap and burlap shoes. It's all orangey, and maybe that might be the perfect skins for you. For desert camouflage, I assume. And of course, we've got the burlap shoes there as well. So, yeah, I mean, cool. Yep, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Demon. Next up, what do we have here? Shadow Thief. So that's a beanie hat. I think you might have got that wrong. Is that definitely a beanie hat? No, it's a boonie hat. What have you done, Confusion? You've confused me. You called it a beanie hat. I put it below. I could have paired that up with all the other boonie hats. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, that's not a beanie hat. That's a boonie hat. Ugh. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, so we've got the Shadow Thief set here. It would be nice if we could look at it, not look at the side of it, Mr. Confusion, because you're confusing me now. All right, there we go. That's better. Right, so you got like a little bit of transparency in the side so we can see our bored heads, and then we got a little bit of transparency for the mouth so we can see our horrible lips. So yeah, this potentially might build up into an interesting looking black theme primitive set. Does that sound appealing to you? Well, maybe you might want to consider voting yes or no to potentially see a whole lot more of it. But in the future, Mr. Confusion, you don't need like things like that. I can't see you. Okay, cool, I can see your ear and your side, but I want to see your front. I didn't need to see all this first. Show the front first. That's the most important bit. So yeah, cool. Right then, so if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Confusion. Let's see how that potentially turns out. And remember, look at what you're typing. Right, what do we have going on here? Hide Halterneck. What? What are you showing me? What is this all about? Why, good sir, we have the Hide Halterneck shells. Don't you want to look nice and pretty? So you know how recently we had the likes of the lay poncho? Well, look what you can do there. Look what you can do there. That's looking pretty cool. So, no, I don't believe this is a continuation. Apparently, this is the beach collection now. You didn't call it beach, though. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's a little bit too loose. But hey, to continue the theming of it, all right, I love how the very bottom of the shell's kind of... Alright, cool. You got a very funny, goofy looking beach set potentially on the horizon. If we do see the lay, beanie hat being accepted, that would be very nice. And yes, overall, as a full set right there, I can't say no to that. I'm just conflicted as to whether to consider this a collection continuation. Maybe I'll do it for just this video, but I feel like that'll still be pushing it. Right, well, at the end of the day, are you a fan of this? Do you like what you see? Please consider voting yes or no. And I guess I could probably bring up the lay poncho. Go on then. Right, we'll go do that, because apparently it's intended to be a collection continuation. It does pair up very nicely with this. Oh wow, this is selling for over $3. What? What? Really? Okay, that was pretty quick. So, okay, let's get the point across. This only did like 10,000 sales. It's pretty much exactly like the gold chains poncho to a point with, it's got transparency. That's a poncho. Don't look like one, but it is one. And, well, that did like 3 times less sales compared to the gold chains poncho. And evidently, people really did like it. The prices have been improving, and, well, there you go. Now, it was going down by quite a fair bit. Did someone just buy it out? Show liquidity. It kind of looks like that was the case, but we'll see. Anyway, if you were to see the likes of the shell stuff being accepted, so the skirt and the shell, what do you reckon? Do you reckon that might boost it up a fair bit? Probably, but it seems a bit too loose. And again, even now, I'm not sure if I really wanted to bring that up. But yeah, and don't forget, we also had the skirt here. So we don't have many skirt skins, do we? So on the horizon, maybe. We'll see how that potentially turns out. So if you're a fan of that, feel free to comment below. But yeah, I feel like you're kind of pushing it there, calling it the beach collection now. After, well, you didn't call the poncho the beach poncho, so I'm not sure if that's going to fly. But then again, Face Punch could just change the name. They might turn it to Lay. No, because it's not Lay, is it? All right, whatever. We'll see. All right. Okay, let's go down over to here. So we have the likes of Forest Shadow bandana and poncho. Then we got the Anaconda wrap poncho. And then we got this very cool looking poncho over here that happens to be a collection continuation. So we'll save that for a bit. First up, we have Mr. Sadist with his Forest Shadow bandana and poncho. Looking to be some nice early game primitive green camouflage. What do you reckon? Do you reckon that works out quite all right? Do you reckon that could work out ever so nicely? Can you see him? Can you see him? Well, I can see his arm. You didn't camouflage that bit. But yeah, so obviously the intention is to be early game camouflage. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't accepted, because Face Punch really doesn't seem to like this. I know. Basically, you're not the first person to attempt such a thing. We have Forest Raiders Burlap and hide clothing. None of that was accepted. But I will sit here and say this, if that were to be accepted, oh mate, that would sell tons. It would. I don't blame them for trying, but yeah. Right then, so at the very least, please consider voting yes or no if you want to see this potentially being accepted. It's early game primitive camouflage. How could you say no? Best of luck to you, Sadist. Let's see how that potentially turns out. And this right here is the Anaconda wrap hide poncho. So, yeah, we're getting a lot of very strange looking ponchos now, aren't we? Emperor, in terms of creativity, fair enough, that's cool. In terms of, does that even look like a poncho? No. No. But if you want to walk around and pretend you got a pet snake, You know what? I feel like you could offer your services for Twitch drops and whatnot. I feel like there's plenty of very goofy ideas that you could do with ponchos if you were to do similar things to this. This is pretty cool for what it is, but I feel like Face Punch is going to get fed up with all these transparent poncho skins being produced now. So in terms of creativity, bonus points. In terms of does it really look like the skin it's supposed to be? No, not really. And put some pads on. So best of luck to you, Emperor, at the very least. I respect the design. I just don't think Face Punch is going to be super eager for another one. And then lo and behold, watch them accept that one. So maybe someone at Face Punch really likes snakes. We'll see. Do you reckon they really like Whiteout? Gentlemen, what do we have right here? Gentlemen, we just discussed early game camouflage. But what do we have right here? That's not green. Oh, no. That's white. That's Whiteout. That right there is the Whiteout Poncho. Now, it wasn't too long ago, a good year or so ago. Actually, no, I think we had another attempt, but I can't remember fully. There was a Whiteout jacket that was submitted. Now, in theory, that would have sold ridiculously. Loads of people would wanted that. You know, you can't really run around in, armour in the Arctic area. You get cold. But a jacket? Oh, mate, that would solve everything. But they didn't accept it. Because in theory, you'd think, oh, yeah, no, surely that would print money. But no, they didn't accept it. So now we have this poncho right here in front of us. And I'm questioning, would they allow such a thing? Would they be willing to do that? Now, I just want to bring this up. We do have a blackout poncho. MDE makes both whiteout and blackout. They're more than willing to accept the blackout poncho, but what about the whiteout one? Imagine if they released that for the June Force White. Imagine how many sales it would have. Imagine if they sold it for $2.49. Question it. Think about it. So, I also want to question this. Out of all the whiteout skins right about now, would the poncho really have an impact? When we saw the boots being accepted last year, all of this just went up even higher. So last year, this was about half the price it currently is. Let's say about a third of what it currently is. Because I have to point this out right now. This is all of these skins right now are reaching new all-time high prices. Or the majority of them, I should say at least. Not you, Boots. You are kind of doomed with the amount that you sold. But all of these, yeah, they are trending upwards, and they are doing very good right now. A poncho, right about now? Mate, by default, just to see a continuation being accepted, I can't help but assume these would spike in demand regardless. Now, how high would it go? I don't know. It's all like separate for each skin because, some of these prices are a lot different compared to some of the other ones. I will sit here and say this. It would only make the momentum it's currently going through even stronger. I think all of these whiteout skins will be peaking at some point around June or July time. So, maybe it might happen about 2 weeks' time. Maybe it might happen about 6 weeks' time. I don't fully know. But it's going to be definitely at some point in the summer. As I said, any continuation would only reinforce and give it even stronger momentum for what it currently has at the moment, right? So I feel optimistic. However, this is all pretty expensive. I think you've missed out already if you wanted to invest into this. Or if you really wanted to risk it, you might want to go buy some whiteout boots. I probably wouldn't. There's a ton of those that exist. There's like 400 of them on the Steam market at the moment. So it's nice to see. I'd love to see it happen. I just don't really think it'll happen. I think they probably looked at how the Arctic camouflage has reacted somewhat recently and thought, yeah, maybe we probably shouldn't. The Arctic camo poncho is only like $2 at the moment, but all the other skins in its set is like ridiculously high in price. So, at the end of the day, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, MDE. Let's see how that all turns out. Cool. So that was a bit of a yapping session. Let's go over to here and take a look at this halo. That certainly is a halo. Have you been a good person? Have you lived a good life? Have you ever questioned these things? You've definitely done some good deeds, right, in Rust? Well, there you go. Again, I don't know if that would be allowed. There's a point where it's like, maybe it's just a bit too silly. Now, if they had something like that for like a Twitch in-game event, like a Easter or a Halloween of some sort, but completely separate, and we had something like that appear, that'd be goofy. But I just can't really think of anything right here, right now. So at the end of the day, look, you might sit there and say, I want to have that happen. I just think Face Punch would sit there and say, no, that's too silly. A floating halo, yeah, that's supposed to look like a bucket helmet. That's not a bucket helmet. It is a bucket helmet skin, but it doesn't look like a bucket helmet. Regardless, if you like what you see, you can still show your support. Best of luck to you, Nui. I just don't think it'll be allowed. I think it's too much. All right, let's go take a look at all of these hoodie and pants, and then I do believe we have one batch of tier 2, and then we're just looking at tons and tons of tier 3 armor. Yes, indeed. Right, so crystalline hoodie and pants. We've got a good little showcasing here. Oh wow, that's very nice and shiny. Cool. Right, so it's like one half is a standard looking hoodie and pants, and then the other half is all nice and shiny gemstone. Looking pretty cool, Arietta and Splatter Sponge. So if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. What do we have going on here? Concrete hoodie and pants. Mr. Fresh last week submitted a tier 3 set that was a Brutalist, but I think he changed it to concrete. I think he's trying his best to avoid being confused with Duck's Brutalist Deployables. We shall see. But yeah, it's all concrete. It's all rugged. It's not supposed to look pretty. It's supposed to look brutalist. Which, again, it's totally fine. The intention and the idea is like, yeah, that's normal. So, yeah, are you a fan of that? Do you want to be as hard as concrete? Then by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Fresh. Let's see how that turns out. And just to kind of get you the point across, literally last week, concrete tier 3. So we'll see how that turns out. Next up, what do we have going on here? It's the astronaut hoodie and pants. You got the space suit here. That's looking pretty cool. It's looking pretty interesting. So you're a fan of that? Do you like what you see? Yes. Well, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Yeah. Let's see if that potentially works out quite nicely. Let's see. Right, it's time to go to Flavor Town. Johnny old boy, what do we got going on here? Overheat hoodie and pants. That is spicy. Look at that. So, well, I'm lost for words. Clearly, when you have flames all over your t-shirt, you're a very powerful man. Yes. Yeah, don't wear that in real life. But yeah, you get the idea. So, pretty cool looking design. If you're a fan of that, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Mr. Johnny old boy. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, Mr. Craboo hoodie and pants. This is a collection continuation. Let's discuss. So, from what we can see here, you got the cool looking reddish design there. You got the cool looking change of the design with the red and the blacks. That's looking pretty good. So, that's looking pretty nice. It's a potentially nice continuation for the primitive set, but that's not primitive. That's hoodie and pants. So that's a little bit of a discussion we're going to have right now. Craboo. You haven't held up very nicely, have you? No. Right, so I was very hopeful that we potentially might see some more primitive skins being produced, but looks like Mr. VHS, yep, he is now going straight for the likes of the core pieces, so we're starting off with hoodie and pants here. Maybe we'll potentially see the likes of tier 3 and tier 2 potentially afterwards, wouldn't surprise me, but if that were to be accepted, would it cause the likes of this to spike in demand, spike in price? No, I don't know. It's awkward. I think you'd still see, by association, it would go up in price a fair bit. But primitive skins such as Burlap definitely would have done a lot better. So at the end of the day, if you like the Craboo set and if you'd like to see more, by all means, you can still vote for it. You can still, see if that works out all right. But personally speaking, I would have liked to have seen Burlap clothing. I feel like that would have done a whole lot better. So it's up to you if you want to jump into that. But it's already quite cheap, so maybe can't go any lower than what it currently is. We shall see. But by all means, if you like what you see, if you're a fan of this, please consider showing your support. Please consider voting yes or no. There's the full setup right there. If you like that, well, you know what to do. Vote yes or no. Best of luck to you, VHS tonight. Let's see how that turns out in the future. Right, here is the only tier 2 submission of the week, produced by Jimmy Tedeschi and Nolfut. We have the Goldstone tier 2. Get a good look at that. So this is initially adapted from what appeared to be their Blackstone / Polished Obsidian set. I don't consider it a collection continuation, but get a good look at that. Do you like gold? Well, maybe you potentially might see this potentially being accepted. But the only way you can really ensure that potentially happens is if you consider showing your support. Gentlemen, if you want to be golden, well, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. Let's see how that potentially turns out. Right, yeah, you got all the pieces there. Kilt, and then, yeah, cool. Right, let's now move on to tier 3 armor. So, we got a lot of variety of tier 3 armor this week. It is madness. Tons and tons and tons of tier 3 armor. Whoopsie, I've clicked the wrong thing there. No, I've clicked one of them wrong. It's fine, I clicked both of them. Right, completionist Tier 3 armour. Get a good look at this. This comes in 2 different versions. We have the greyish design first, the metallic grey, produced by Kira and Stranger Sailor. Get a good look at that. Yep, I like the little pattern on the top there. That's looking pretty cute. And I do believe we have like more of a focus in the chest plate here. You could just look at this image to get a good look. Whoa, that's super up close. Look, what do the symbols mean, Mason? What do they mean? But yeah, pretty little, cute little montage of, collage of all the various things we see in Rust. And of course, this also comes in a red version. What is the Warthog doing there? What's he laughing at? Anyway, get a good look at this. So, are you a fan of this? Do you appreciate? Do you like? Well, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Kira and Stranger Sailor. And why is the Warthog laughing? I don't know. You've got to tell me. Right, anyway, moving on to the next skins. What do we have going on? We have Sushi Man, Tier 3 armor. Get a good look at this, produced by Yopka and Lancy. Do you like sushi? Oh, I've accidentally clicked the wrong thing there. Yep. Got the sesame seeds, the seaweed. Oh, sashimi. Ah, yes. So, you probably don't want to eat it, though. Yeah. I would advise against it, but yeah, get a good look at that. Are you a fan? Do you like what you see? Would you like to become sushi? Well, now's your chance. For a simple vote of yes or no, you could potentially ensure that you get to become ever so nice and delicious. You could become Sushi Man. So, best of luck to you, Yopka and Lancy. Let's see how this potentially turns out. Best of luck to you two. And what do we have next? Do you want a banana? Peel it down and go, Do you want a banana? This isn't the banana collection. This is the banana peel tier 3. So let me just get that straightforward. This is not the banana collection. This is something completely different. You have the banana peel tier 3 right here in front of you. Do you love bananas so much that you're going to cover yourself in bananas? Well, I've probably got the perfect skin for you right here. From the likes of Alloy and Hook, here is the banana peel tier 3. And if you're a fan of that, by all means, please consider voting yes or no, and monkey. It's definitely a monkey. He has a banana on his head. Awesome. Right, what's next? We have the Mutagen Tier 3 armor. Get a good look at that. I believe this is supposed to look like an insectoid. What's it called? Carapace or something? You know, like their skeletal body. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that seems to be the case. That seems to be the answer. So yeah, this is the next batch because, of course, recently we saw the likes of the Hoodie and pants. Well, we're on to Tier 3 armor now. Potentially next week we'll see Tier 2. Multi-name, damned in. Don't rush out Tier 2. Wait a week. Do like something else for the next 2 weeks. Then consider releasing the Tier 2. Because you're going to cause your skins to compete with each other. As in, like, the core pieces. You don't really want that to happen. So give it a break for at least 1 or 2 weeks. Then consider putting out the next piece. But yeah, you get the idea, I'm sure. So, potential new green armor on the horizon. Do you like what you see? By all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you two. All right. And what do we have going on here? Sorry. Yeah, we got the starved Tier 3 armor. Why are you so starved? Your teeth are so sharp as well. What's going on? Did you have a brush? Well, with a bit of transparency right there, we've got a very cool looking design. Now, Delaware, you should have put transparency there, or there. That clearly has transparency, so just want to make sure you follow the rules. You have to point out that it's transparent, because apparently that's something that needs to be addressed in every single skin that has transparency. So, yeah, cool. So if you're a fan of that, if you like what you see, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. That right there is the starved Tier 3 armor. And just to get much more of a focus on the likes of the chest plate, get a look at that. And yeah, I'm sure you get the idea by now. So, look pretty cool. Best of luck to you, Delaware. Let's see how that turns out. Right, this is a debut for the likes of Mr. Coffee Outlaw with Mr. Micro. We have the Blackguard Tier 3 armor. Get a good look at that. Looking very nice and sharp. Looking ever so nice and distinct. Cool looking debut skins right there. Yeah, I don't think it's Coffee Outlaw's outright debut, is it? Yeah, no, he's made a couple of things in the past and whatnot. Looks like he's tested some things out. But in terms of armour, that's a great start. So, hey, we'll see if that potentially works out quite nicely. Lovely little view right there. Looking pretty cool. So, if you like what you see, please, by all means, consider voting yes or no. Otherwise, he'll cry. And you don't want him to cry, do you? So, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you too. Right, what do we have going on here? We have the Swamp Beast Tier 3 armor. Get a good look at that. Swamp Thing. That's like a really old cartoon. Right, so, yeah, look at that. Looking pretty cool. It cake. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that. Oh, swamp, cake. No, don't say the thing you shouldn't say. Don't say the thing you shouldn't say. Swamp. No, don't say that. Right, so, yeah, get a good look at that. Something smells. Shut up, Hedge. Alright, so if you like what you see here, if you're a fan of this, by all means, please consider voting yes or no. Best of luck to you, Oasis and Schumer. And yeah, that's it. That's the final clothing and armor piece to showcase for this week. That is the final skin to showcase for all of the skins this week. So, out of all the clothing and armor, more specifically, which ones stood out to you the most? Which ones were your favourite? Which ones do you reckon potentially could be accepted in a future upcoming Rust store? By all means, please scream and shout it out in the comment section below. And yeah, out of all the skins, which ones were your favourites? You get the idea. Blah, 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 blah. Awesome. I've probably been yapping for far too long. I've had to stop this video a couple times by mistake. Sorry about that. You probably would have noticed, but hey, I'm only human. Right, let's just quickly go through some details. Don't forget to keep an eye on the likes of TGG's most recent batch of skins, the top picks list, and of course his video as well. Feel free to go ahead and watch that in your own time. Keep an eye out for all the newer skin creators that have popped up with their new interesting designs and whatnot. Keep a good eye out for people to follow, because of course, you know, if you want to be aware of all the potential new people that might get skins accepted, well, you're going to care about that if you're an investor. Right, what else is there to point out? We also have the likes of the votes. As we can see over here, the Shadowborn Armour double door is on top with score, but in terms of upvotes, no, it's also upvotes as well, with a very high upvote to downvote ratio. In second place, we have Blind's Rug. In third place, Chameleon L96 version 2. Then we also have the Forest Shadow Poncho in fourth, and the Glacier MP5 in fifth. So yeah, score is an amalgamation of upvotes, downvotes, and favourites. So you should probably get a good idea that Shadowborn Armour double door with almost 70 score is quite ridiculous. So props to you there, Mr. Vase and Mr. Cubis. Let's see if that works out very nicely. And if you want to get a link to micro522.com to be able to see all the upvotes, downvotes, and whatnot, look in the description of this video. I'm sure you'll understand. And of course, don't forget, if you want to be able to be aware of all the newest skins. Oh no, is that another one? Then you were incredibly late with that, mate. I'm sorry. Well, there you go. There's another skin that you can go look in your own time. If you want to set up your own followed authors list so you can see all these skins and whatnot, then by all means, look in the top right corner of this video right now. You'll see a link to a special video to set up followed authors lists is right there. If you click it, it'll teach you how to set them up. You get the idea. I'm sure you get it. So yeah, things are looking pretty cool. I would recommend that you go ahead and watch this video as well. So those Twitch drops, well, those skins that I thought were going to be Twitch drops are pretty much guaranteed going to be Twitch drops. So if I just quickly click this link in the description right there, Abe from the original OTV event, yeah, there seems to be some sort of special RP server being set up for big streamers, and quite a considerable amount of those big streamers taking part in this event just so happen to have got some special Twitch drops made. Oh, I wonder, do you reckon those particular Twitch drops might be in the new batch of Twitch drops that might be coming out fairly soon? Oh, I wonder. So that's kicking off on May 25 in about 2 weeks' time, so keep your eyes open. And of course, be aware of all the newest Twitch submissions, Twitch drop submissions, blah, 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 you get the idea. So yeah, that's cool. Right, so sorry if I was a little bit all over the place. I'm sorry, but I'm trying my best to go through it all, and this probably went on for about 2 hours. That's my fault, but, you know, you're here for a Hedge ramble. And I did say at the very beginning, skip ahead if you want to. Oh, you should have. Right, so we have the Abnormal Barders tomorrow, so we'll be looking forward to that. I will be streaming. Look in the description of this video to see all the links to my socials, my Discord and whatnot, my Twitter, and of course, my Twitch. And yeah, that's where we're going to be. So best of luck. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely time looking at the brand new Rust Store rotation. Not sure if we're going to have some very random skins like we did. Like, as you can see right there, that was in the workshop for almost 3 years. Are we going to see another skin like that being accepted in the next Rust Store? What do you reckon? It would be very random, but hey, we can look forward to it. Right then, so catch you later. Have a lovely day. See ya. Bye.